I promise you I'm not going to bang on about climate change and renewable energy and all of that, except for just one point, and that is our planet is nearly 80% covered in water, is covered in oceans. And here in Australia, and particularly the southern states of Australia, Western Australia, South Australia, Victoria and Tasmania, we all connect to the Southern Ocean that surrounds Antarctica. And that ocean is immensely powerful. Between Melbourne and Perth, it's about 3,500 kilometres of coastline. And what you're seeing in front of you right now is just 1 square kilometre of that ocean. Hopefully you can see where the yachts are sailing, there's a grid of slightly different coloured water, and it's 1 kilometre long by 1 kilometre long. It's 1 square kilometre of that ocean. And what you're seeing in the left-hand corner here is a floating field of plastic buoys. They're all connected, and what they're designed to do is harness wave energy. Wave energy is caused by wind blowing over the oceans. Now, when you're in the ocean, you get a real sense of just how powerful those waves and the swell is that's stirred up by wind. So after looking and researching just loads of products that are out there in the market for wave energy, harnessing wave energy, this is my solution to the southern parts of Australia where this wave energy is just immense as opposed to anywhere else in the country. And it's a grid of hexagon-shaped they're plastic buoys. They're made out of recycled plastic. They're all joined together with a linkage. And what it means, what it does, is it allows the wave form. The wave is energy that passes through the upper surfaces of the water. The water doesn't move. It's just an energy form. And when you look at these, and this is just a small section of these waves, but the length of these waves are 1 kilometre long, and they go from 22,000 tonnes, 44,000 tonnes, 95,000 tonnes, there's 44,000 tonnes of water that moves and lifts in just seconds. The energy to be able to move that much water is immense. And it doesn't just happen in straight lines. Waves and swell, which are derived from wind, come in all directions. So let's have a closer look at the system itself. So it's made up of these hexagon-shaped buoys or buoys. They're joined together by a galvanized set of corner components and rings. They deliberately have a gap in between them. It's about 500 mil, and in the middle of where these guys are standing, you can see an access hole for divers to be able to get under the water to where the turbine mechanism is. The turbine mechanism takes the vertical movement of the wave passing through this body of water, and it converts that up and down motion into a rotational motion. It's the rotational motion that we need to feed into the generators to then be able to output electricity. So the turbines hang down below the floats on chains, and there's another articulating steel framework underneath that keeps it all nice and tightly together. Now, it's anchored somewhat crudely. These are just concrete anchors with either rope or chain leading back up to the floating buoys. And it doesn't need to be sophisticated. This is the beauty about this thing. The least amount of complications that you can put into a mechanism that's capturing wave energy, the better. So what happens is that this thing floats around offshore. These are long lines that are driven by these drums and really based on a design that goes back a long way. A guy called Savonius came up with a design which is a series of cups which when air or water passes over the system, they rotate. And the beauty about this system is that they're rotating on the upward motion and they're rotating in the same direction on the downward motion. They're all connected to a stainless steel cable which then goes in and feeds a gearbox in front of a generator. They can all rotate independently of each other. There is a really clever little ratchet system that allows the cable to rotate without the need to rotate the drums. The beauty of this design is that it's designed to maximize harnessing wave action which comes in from any angle. When we stand at the beach, we tend to look out at a relatively flat sea. We assume that the waves are coming at us parallel with the shore, but this is not true at all. Waves come in all sorts of different directions, and swell moves in all sorts of different directions. It's all driven by the wind, and we know that weather systems move through on within a matter of days. And swell height can be varying. And when you're out on a yacht like this, tens of thousands of tons of water just move underneath you within seconds. The beauty of this system, unlike solar or wind turbines, this system can be in place 24/7, capturing energy, harnessing energy. These winds blow in from the southern oceans and deliver huge amounts of energy towards us. And by laying this big mat over the top of the surface, we can harness this energy 24/7. What I'd like to see is community groups pushing these designs. There are towns all along the coastline that can be getting this really green energy. We can be recycling our plastics to be producing the floating platforms, and we can be moving away from burning coal and gas, which is where we're getting our energy from at the moment. Wave energy is one of the cleanest energy forms in the world, and it's free. The winds are blowing around the Southern Ocean just below us, and all this energy is being delivered to our shorelines, and all we have to do is harness it.